We continue this afternoon's press conference. We have head coach Pascal Jansen. If you have any questions, please raise your hand. We'll get started in the room with Roberto.
So one of the best things about the team has been the ability to bounce back after poor performances. And so now you go against Chicago, it's a formidable offense as well. How are you looking at this game?
Well, first of all, I don't think we're going to bounce off of a poor performance. We're going to bounce off of a bad result. The performance itself, especially in the first half, I thought we were pretty good. However, this game was determined by a few moments that we were caught off guard, and that cost us the game. So in general, playing against one of the best offensive teams of the league is going to be a challenge of itself. But we're looking forward to it because we're in a good place and we want to stay there in order to have the best chances getting ourselves into the playoffs.
But we know that Matt Freese has been one of the best goalies in the league. He had a standout game against Japan. What can you say about him and how he's progressing throughout the season and how he's doing with the national team?
I think it speaks for himself. He's been making good progress throughout the whole season. Started really well, got himself a spot with the national team. Obviously played good matches with us, showed good level, which also got him the first spot into the first 11 for the national team. And knowing Matt like I do, he's not going to give up easily. He's not going to relax. He's going to go hunt for more and become better. And that is Matt in a nutshell, I would say. Very professional, very determined, and very eager to learn and improve. So I think that's the best recipe for a good professional who is we're going to see the best to come yet.
Thank you. I'm sorry. How's the health of the club going into?
Looking good, apart from the usual suspects. Everybody is available. Got back good from the national team. Trained for most parts of today, and then we'll see how they wake up tomorrow. But given the fact that Matt has played 2 games in a short period of time, Alonso 2 games, and Aiden also 2 games, but with a very, very big trip from New Zealand back to the US, I'm pretty satisfied with how they got back into the building today.
Onto the Zoom, we'll go with Michael.
Pascal, it's Mike Ander from Blue City Radio. Thanks for the time.
Hi, Michael.
Your first game against Chicago included 2 red cards for Chicago. How much does that impact your ability to judge and evaluate that team, knowing that you had a man advantage for most of the game and then a 2-man advantage for the last 10 minutes?
Well, it's looking at the part of the game where we played 11-11, and for the rest, we have to prepare their progress throughout the games that they played ever since that game. And like I mentioned to Roberto just now, they've shown so far that they are capable of doing good things, especially in the offensive part of the game. But then again, looking at the games that we have in the past 4 or 5 games that we've analyzed, we see our own opportunities. So it's not going to be based on the first game only.
George?
Coach, I just mentioned to Justin how, you're facing a team that's fighting to get into the playoffs, and they're so close to you with spot. He said that you mentioned to them every game from a couple of games ago was a playoff game. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you don't want to be on the wrong end of things, but added pressure to the team, is that something that you guys are okay with at the moment, especially being so close to the playoffs and the load about to get a little crazy?
Well, if people get nervous from me saying that we have to approach these games like playoff games, we are in the wrong profession, because we've created the pressure on ourselves to improve ourselves from game number 1 until we finish this year's league. As you mentioned, we're close to getting a spot into the playoffs, but close is not enough. We have to be in the playoffs. So we're in that stage of the league where we're getting closer to those moments that will determine if we're going to be in the playoffs or not. And that's the biggest difference if you compare the East to the Western Conference, I think, because there it's quite clear. And in our situation, it's not clear yet. So we have to be mindful of that and make sure that we get the results in order to secure that spot.
Michael, you have another one?
Yes, I do. Pascal, can you talk about the younger players that featured earlier in the season that don't seem to have been getting as many minutes going into these moments where you're considering these games, playoff quality games?
I think of my young players as any other player within the squad. The youngsters have proven themselves to be worthy of being on the training roster. They've had their moments. Johnny Shore is one of the youngsters who proved himself good enough to get more play time, but they are still in competition with some other good players. So, and I determine my choices based on what's best for the team, and if it's a youngster or one of the other players, that is something that I don't take with me in my consideration to pick one of those guys into the team.
Final one, we'll go back to George.
Coach, this is a little different from the game. Last time I was leaving the stadium, I saw you leaving the stadium and greeting fans and thanking them for coming out to the stadium. I see you at a lot of fan events. I see you having great interactions with the fans. How important is it for you to have that kind of access to the fans and for you to allow the access for you? Because I felt like you were having conversations with fans and they were asking you stuff about the game as you were trying to get to your car, but you made time for everybody, kind of thanking them for being to the game and being with you guys that last game.
Well, in general, I appreciate it. Every fan that comes out to watch our games. At the end of the day, we play our games for our fans, and they have to be able to stick with us in good times and less good times. And if you take the game against DC, like I mentioned just now, we were pretty decent to good in the first half, but we were not good enough in the second half. And everybody was very happy and very pleased for us when we played two good matches against Nashville and against Cincinnati. But that doesn't determine my behavior towards our fans. So what you see is what you get. And if they have questions and they approach me in a normal, respectful manner, then they will get normal and respectful answers as well. So for me, it's very important to show that we are committed to our fans as players, but also as the coach of the team. So we set the standard like this.
Great. Thank you, everybody.